Hey guys, welcome back. Andrew Penman here, Andrew Penman YouTube. Okay, something a bit different today. About 4 weeks ago, I was kindly asked to be a guest interview on an up-and-coming podcast channel. That's Esk8Shop.com. Owner and founder Paul Wilson. He's interviewed a lot of pretty high-profile people in the industry, and he's going to do really well with this channel. So there'll be links below to his channel, but also his online store, Esk8Shop.com, and he's got a fantastic entry-level little cousin of the Cool Wheel, a Californian Mustang, I think for $399. Incredible price. So look, check it all out. I'll put links below. So sit back and enjoy me being interviewed. This is only half of it because of YouTube's length. If you want to get the rest of the interview, just follow the link below and go on to the full podcast site. Enjoy, guys.
Thank you for joining us again. This is Paul Wilson with Esk8Shop Podcast, the first ever podcast just about electric skateboards, accessories, and upgrades. Previously, we've talked about voltage sag. We've interviewed Eric from Shredlights and Riptide. And today, I'm very, very proud we have on the #1 cool wheel expert, Andrew Penman. Andrew, how the hell are you?
Oh, thanks, Paul. That's a great intro. Thank you so much. Very humbled. Well, thanks for letting me come on your channel, and I'm very excited to be here. And thanks and hello from Australia and Sydney.
Yes. Thank you so much, Andrew. We got up early, or you stayed up late, so that we could talk this morning a little bit about it. I introduced you as the #1 cool wheel expert because when I was researching electric skateboards for the first time, you can't search electric skateboards on YouTube without coming across Andrew Penman. Like, it just comes up. It really does. It's totally honest. Like, everything I searched, you've built this YouTube audience around your reviews and your expertise and your experience, a lot to do with the cool wheel. Before we dive into the cool wheel and a little bit more about the details there, tell me, how did you get started in e-skate?
Oh, look, great question. Look, I suppose initially it was a natural progression. I was skateboarding and surfing from an early age. In fact, I was skateboarding and surfing from right back when the Vietnam War was still going. It's scary. I got my first my first skateboard in 1971. It was a Bain fiberglass. I know a lot of you guys out there, listeners, will be saying, "What the hell is that?" But it was a fiberglass, multicolored flexi deck Bain, BAHNE, I think it was. And anyway, I was only 12 and I've been skateboarding and surfing right through my life. I'm 56 at the moment, and I suppose I came along the electric skateboard phenomenon about 3 years ago when I sort of, I was looking at just gadgets online and doing the YouTube views, looking at documentaries, and I came across probably something that really blew my mind. That was the boosted board ad. You may have been aware of that, where they was riding cruise around San Francisco. They all were together. It was beautifully shot, and it was the promo for the boosted board, not the dual, but the original one. And I thought, geez, they've actually produced an electric skateboard production-wise. This is pretty impressive. I knew the guys were in the workshops, and the builders and the skate builders were doing their stuff behind the scenes, and with belts and drives. And finally, there was one out there you could just pick up and buy. And I thought, well, I looked at it and I thought to myself, it's not really fitness for purpose what I want. I'd like a removable battery for traveling. I'd like the new hub systems that are quiet. I didn't like the belt drives. So I started looking around. I bought myself a cool wheel initially to try to see if I would sort of enjoy that kind of experience rather than the longboard cruising, sliding. And that's how I got into it. Yeah, Paul, I pretty much just got that on, I think, Alibaba. But I did get a little one first called a FIC Mini. Now, FIC is a skateboard company coming out of the Gold Coast in Queensland.
Yeah.
Australian-based company. Yeah, you probably heard they make great off-road skateboards, FIC, F-I-I-K. And they also, obviously, Australia's got a lot of cutting edge here with obviously the Evolves and Jeff Anning's incredible phenomenon with the Evolve skateboards and, of course, the FIC. And I basically looked at that and I got on it. It was a little bit weak, the motor, for me and my height and weight, 90 kilos. But I then went on and bought the Cool Wheel, which is like going from a Mini Minor to a Ford Mustang. and then that's how I got into it. So then I started riding them, and I just loved the whole feel. It was like, I've said it before on my channel, it's like, Back to the Future with Michael J. Fox. It was like suddenly you're floating through the air on a hoverboard. It was like the most amazing experience ever. And one of the greatest aspects of it is the braking. You can brake down any hill, anywhere, go on any steep street, and you can pull up. And this was one of the most amazing hidden features of an electric skateboard. So that's essentially how I got into electric skateboards. And now I've got about 7, and that's how it started for me. That's pretty much.
That's so crazy. Okay, so like you literally went from just seeing an ad and then kind of started poking around into it. Now you are in like a little hotbed of the electric skate community. Like you said, there's quite a few manufacturers. Like this scene really popped up hard in Australia, I think near or around the same time that it was going on in California, which is like the big hotbed up here in the United States.
Exactly.
So had you seen guys out like in your community or in your area on an electric skateboard?
Look, Paul, that's a great question. Look, to be honest, Sydney, those who haven't been to Sydney, it's a magnificent city. It's the Northern Beaches has 12 beaches over a 28-kilometre stretch. They're just white sandy. It's the South Pacific. It's got that whole beach culture feel about it, that surfing, skateboard. It's close you can get to probably Venice Beach, Californian feel, and Malibu, anywhere in the world. So we're very lucky and very blessed here. So I suppose Manly, where I come from, is a very famous Manly beach. We got a lot of skating and surfing here, skate shops. But no, to your question, there wasn't a lot of people riding electric skateboards. It was quite rare, and I think the entry level off-the-shelf boards were like the Bamboo Evolve and there was a couple other brands that were selling the Fix. They were really 1,500 Australian dollars, and it was out of the reach and price range for a lot of people. So they were rare. So for me, I didn't see a lot of people riding around, and I think I got my first introduction and exposure through YouTube and people riding them, and I thought, no, this is going to be something I need to really look into, investigate. So no, I think it was even today. Now, fast forward 2017, I ride an electric skateboard down at Manly, and I'm probably one of 3 people riding down there on a weekend, and people will still stop me and say, hey man, what's that? What are you doing? what is this thing? I mean, hello, it's like it's been out for like 5 years, these things. So yeah, we're at a cutting edge of a phenomenon at the moment with electric skateboards. This is the future of urban transportation, and I think it marries and crosses beautifully between style, class, funky, and transportation. It sort of marries those beautifully. So I can only see the most incredible thing happening in the world as this thing just evolves. Yeah.
Absolutely. No, it's been really exciting. It's funny. I was very similar in my approach. Obviously, I had one person around me who was riding a one wheel and starting to get into those really heavy. And I had that same kind of initial reaction of I looked at it and I was like, this is really cool. So then I started to do some research online. I came across your channel and a bunch of others, right?
Oh, that's lovely. Thank you.
And as I'm doing this research, I'm like, I'm starting to figure out like, well, what do I want? And I started to kind of map out what's my barrier for entry, right? Like, how much is this going to cost me? What do I have to do? What else do I need? I come from a performance automotive kind of background. So like, I'm always thinking, I know that there's a rabbit hole of money behind whatever fun thing
Correct,
I do,
yeah.
right?
Yep.
So like, I wanted to know how deep is that rabbit hole, and I've done things like gone out and bought, really expensive rifles because I was going to get into shooting a lot, right, at the gun range, and like that. Just after a while, you're like, hey man, even the rounds are fucking expensive, right? So you start to back off. You're like, I don't have so much time to go do that. So I wanted to make sure if I was going to dive into this hobby, I didn't jump into it with both feet. I wanted to kind of dip my toes in the water. So same here, man. I started off with like a nice, affordable skateboard, figured out if this is right for me, and then you can start to look at, either modifying or upgrading from there. But the videos, like, so you went from just kind of dicking around with one. It sounds like just cruising down by the beach and just having a little bit of personal fun. Why'd you start making the videos?
Great question. Look, I suppose initially when I bought the FIC Mini, I watched a review of a guy who gave it really good reviews. Now, what they were doing at the time, a lot of guys, and still do, is just doing a one wrap, pretty much a one video of like unboxing, first impressions, riding it, yeah, thumbs up, yeah, I recommend this, and then giving a link below. And I was stupid enough to sort of think, well, that'll do for me, and I bought the Fit Mini. Now, look, I still got it. I love it. It's great for shopping centres. It's great for concerts. It's great for if I go to hospitals or something, or if I airport. I mean, brilliant. Quiet, tiny, dead quiet. But it gets a max speed of about probably 20 kilometres per hour, the max. So when I got that, I thought, hey, I kind of got sold on something from a review that really wasn't, it was counterproductive to what I wanted. And I thought, wow, well, what do I do? So I just had to research it myself. So I started going on all the sites. I wasn't prepared to spend that. I had the money to spend on a 1,500 board, but I thought, no, I want to get a couple of sort of $500 US boards, to review, because I want to start giving this a go. I'll review, because I can do a better job, if not much better than what these guys are doing. So I went on Alibaba because I actually, for there, I was buying a lot of stuff on there, and I had a look at what was there, and I saw this thing Cool Wheel, and I think I was one of the first people to. There's a guy called the Juke Squad or something, a skimboard guy in Florida who's got like 2 million subscribers. He actually had a review on the Cool Wheel, and he was really giving it really good reviews. So I went ahead and ordered that, and when I got it, I just thought, I'm going to review it. So I started reviewing it, and people have come through the normal, usual suspects, Paul. I mean, the same trolls and hecklers, and say, oh, you're a salesman for Cool Wheel, or this is a toy, it's a Chinese toy. They're the usual suspects. They're usually, no disrespect, but they are the Esk8 builder guys, the engineering kind of types. I said, look, guys, I respect what you do, but look, I respect that these aren't cheap toys. They are really well made. Like, where's your iPhone made? And where is your Samsung? The best assemblers in the world come out of China, the best factories. How can a small boutique company, I won't mention names, but compete with the likes of 2,000 employees assembling every day? So having said all that, I put it through its paces. I just used it, and I did my normal reviews. And then I found a bit of a niche area where I'm sort of doing honest, non-biased reviews, because I do pay for every single thing I do. I don't get anything for free. I don't accept any free gifts, because I don't want to be beholden or sort of held to ransom to give a good review. If I don't like something, I'll say it. But of course, I picked these boards out of a group of about 20. I went online first, from the Magneto board, the Swag board, to all types of boards, and I thought the Cool Wheel looked, and the Onan, which we'll talk about in a little while, were the ones I wanted to review at that price point. So what actually happened then is I just reviewed it, and I thought, well, I'll do an A, B, and C. I'll do an A, distance test. I'll do B, a hill climb test. And I'll do C, a sprint and speed test with cones and proper vitometers and really evidence. So my background was an accountant, evidence, and a tax investigator, so I kind of know what evidence and fact is. So I did that, and I think it just struck a chord with a lot of people that here's a guy doing some honest reviews that also have some fact behind them. So that's how I got into it. And I think I had a couple of subscribers. I had up to 10 after 2 months. And then it just went a bit wild. It sort of, people start talking about it. And I realized that maybe I've just got a little bit of a gift. Now, I thought, really, at the end of the day, I thought, well, maybe YouTube is that platform and that forum that is really good to showcase what I've got, which is a bit of a gift on finding little tweaks about things and fixing things and giving it a full review. And I suppose, Paul, it's proved it, because people are coming back with really positive feedback. So I'm really happy with what I'm doing. And last little point, with my comments, I do get back to every person, which is a big task every morning, an hour, and every night, every hour. But if you look at my YouTube channel, you'll see that it's kind of like a bit of a mini Reddit. There's a lot of people talking, a lot of discussions, a lot of...